You're listening to Nightmares with Beers. Your hosts, Mark and Blaster. Grab a beer, prepare for fear.
Hello and welcome to Nightmares with
Beer.
the show that explores the true facts of horror movies with
Beer.
We're your hosts, Mark and Blaster.
So today we're going to talk about the movie The Entity. We'll discuss the true horrors behind the movie and offer listener insights to the actual events.
Ooh. This movie was also known as the Doors Byther case.
It was in 1974 in Culver City, California. A woman named Doris Byther alleged that she was being raped by ghosts. 3 of them, 3 men ghosts.
Three men ghosts.
Yeah, it seems that a sick mind would go beyond humans. I wonder if they had some floating mist beer and got all drunk watching that paranormal ghost porn shit.
Paranormal ghost porn?
Yeah, man.
Is that a thing?
It could be a thing in the paranormal world. You never know.
Yeah, they got some weird shit going on there, man.
Yeah. 2 ghosts, 1 cup.
Gasper. The raping ghost. I mean, that's what the whole friggin' entity is about, right? It's just an onslaught of rape.
Pretty much.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah. That ghost just wanted to get it on
he did.
from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
And that case was inspired by a book in 1978. What is it? De Fletas? Frank De Fletas?
Frank Deletta.
Frank Deletta.
Frank Deletta. 1978.
Frank Deletta.
Yeah.
And then it was made into the film in 1982.
Right.
So 6 years later.
Yeah. So Doris began to make claims of paranormal activity on August 22nd, 1974, during an interview. During this interview, she revealed that she had a history of psychological abuse as well as substance abuse, along with a traumatic childhood.
Now, substance abuse, eh? Well, gotta pour a beer then.
Well, I mean, now that she's dead, she can go and hunt the bullies that picked on her when she was a kid.
No, she's probably getting more up there or down there or wherever it is.
Actually, you know what she can
Remember,
do? What she can do instead of haunting them? Just keep tipping over their beers for the rest of their life.
oh,
Yeah, that'll fucking
fuck
teach
you, Doris!
She can go around just tipping over everyone's beers. That's worse than a haunting, I think.
Allegedly, she was attacked and raped by invisible entities. 3 invisible entities.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 spirits
Right.
assaulted her. And these scientists have tied this phenomenon to sleep paralysis. But
Yeah.
also, isn't it also hysteria? Mass hysteria?
I have no idea.
I didn't hear anything about sleep paralysis in anything I read.
Oh, I
I
did.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And sleep paralysis when you can't move or speak when you're trying to wake up or fall asleep. Can be scary, but
Dude,
it's
I
harmless.
get that twice a week. Mm-hmm. Twice a fucking week, man.
Well,
At
I used
least.
to have a strange experience when I was a kid. I don't know if I was dreaming or what, but it'd be like I'm walking around the room, looking around, whatever room I might be sleeping in, and maybe that's a form of sleep paralysis. I don't know, because I can hear myself
sleep
breathing. I can hear myself breathing as I do it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sleep paralysis is your body goes to sleep. There's a chemical that shuts down your body and it puts you in a paralyzation, and your brain doesn't shut off. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, that's scary shit.
Yeah, and I've opened my eyes and seen shit on the walls. I've tried to jump through windows in the living room. Everything's set up the exact same way because my eyes are open when I'm doing this. It's crazy.
So apparently she was
yeah.
being held down by 2 smaller forces while a larger one raped her. And if she tried to stop the attack, she'd get thrown across the room and beaten. So it also appeared that assholes go beyond being humans as well. Wouldn't even share with his little ghostly minions, for fuck's sakes.
There's more assholes in the afterlife than there is anywhere else.
Yeah,
We just die and go back to being more assholes.
that's it.
Bunch of assholes floating around somewhere, man. Don't get hit by a ghost. That's that smell.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Shit.
Doris's older son, Brian Harris, described the entity to be like a fog. or a human, but not quite. So you know what I noticed though? It's kind of cool that the word entity has the word titty in it.
Entities have titties.
Mm-hmm.
Even more.
Multiple titties, yeah.
It's pretty crazy how that movie, how they did that scene with the titties.
I know. It's like something squeezing them, but nothing's there.
But if you actually look at it, it's crazy. As when I was watching it, right when pause it during there or slow motion it, you can see the shadow of whoever's really grabbing the titties.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, what? There's this. You can see the shadow on both coming up and down in the light, and I'm like, how the fuck did they do that though? Like that was 1982. Didn't have CGI. So how in the hell did they do that? Because maybe they had like big, those things you pick up shit on the ground with, those fucking claws.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe they did something like that, and someone was hovering above them, blip, 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 touching her dips and shit. I don't know. But anyways.
So her children corroborated the attacks that their mother was like throwing around the room, slapped, raped almost every night. Her children recall seeing scarring on her legs and thighs.
Her son, Brian, he witnessed many of the attacks. So I guess there was an interview from 2009. So this is the real guy, not the movie son, saying because his bedroom was next door to his mother's room, he had to listen to the attacks as they happened. And in a few cases, he actually saw her being beaten by an invisible force. So, I mean, like a man was standing in front of my mother and would start to beat her. Imagine a woman being beaten. You could see her being picked up and thrown around. Sound slaps, but there was no one there to actually do it. He continued. We all felt it too. Pulling, biting, and scratching. We were all attacked. So that's quoted right from Brian Harris.
So that was from the interview. That's what he had said.
And you have to see your mom do this. Like when I was watching the movie and the little girls, even though they're actresses, it's like, oh man, that's fucking traumatic, dude. Like imagine really seeing that shit. Either your mom is batshit crazy or really getting poltergeisted.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll come to that. I mean, a haunting and a poltergeist, I guess, are two different things. I do have it noted here what the two differences are, but we'll get to that. So the members of her family would speak about incidents claiming that the different times throughout the years they experienced things in the household as well. They say one of them was slapped, one bumped into an invisible man in the hallway. The oldest
Excuse me?
Yeah, excuse me. So the oldest one alleges that whenever he listened to Black Sabbath or Uriah Heep, that it would increase the paranormal activity around the home. He claims that the music would set off like a chain reaction of orbs appearing around the house, and lights would flicker on and off and whatnot. I mean, well, at least they have good taste in music. I mean, fuck, man. I'd be breaking out the beer and cocaine, make a party out of it. I don't know.
Start biting off the heads of bats and shit floating around.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. It's like Black Sabbath, and there's orbs, and house lights would turn on and off. I think it was just fucking, Black Sabbath party, like a show was going on. They just wanted to have a show. They missed fucking Black Sabbath.
Yeah, never know. So, I mean,
That's
what else we got here? So, some researchers believe that the haunting was caused by negative energy in the home. Other paranormal investigators believe that the people who are haunted bring it on themselves, basically. So Doris suffered.
Yeah, they self-manifested.
Right. So Doris suffered from a childhood abuse, and her older son Brian said that he was disowned by her family after an altercation in her teens. She apparently took part in seances and toying with dark magic as well.
Man, I remember growing up and people doing like card readings and tarot readings and stuff.
Yeah, that's a big thing,
I don't know if it's real or not because I don't really believe in any spiritual stuff or religion. So, but that might bring on something if you believe in that, right? If you're playing with shit that's dark, who knows what's going to happen? There's no fucking book that says this is what's going to happen.
No, exactly. I mean, I know they say don't mess around with a Ouija board because that could bring on a lot of, different encounters that just going to spook the hell out of you.
Yeah, I messed with those like 2 or 3 times as a kid and did nothing. It was just stupid. What the fuck we all sitting around here playing with a Ouija board when we got a motherfucking Sega Genesis over there? Let's go play some Double Dragon Ouija board.
So we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show that this is a show based on horror movies that are based on true stories with beer. We do drink beer while we do this, and we invite everyone listening to drink beer while we do this. And
Does it sound better?
So it'll sound better, yeah.
More beers you have, the more it'll make sense. If you listen to this sober, it's not going to make any sense. Sorry.
So this, I believe...
I'm almost done my first beer anyways.
Yeah, me too, actually.
So a group of 30 investigators, so I guess, I think they were from, UCLA, I believe? Oh, no, they're all those, that was the other guys. But there was a group of 30 investigators set up cameras around the house to try and catch anything that would transpire or happen within the home. So once everything was set up, Doris would conjure the entities. So that's kind of into that Ouija shit. Doris went into a frenzy and began to swear and taunt the spirits while the investigators watched. And then these light orbs allegedly began to manifest in the room, followed by a green mist that snaked out from a corner of the room. And then these investigators claim a mist formed in the shape of a human torso and a series of muscles. After having their film developed, they would find that none of this had been captured on camera. So it just didn't exist. They seen it, but film didn't capture it.
Right, and apparently the older son, Brian, claims that the presence of the paranormal investigators would piss off the ghosts, making the home more of a hell. Like, they didn't enjoy being there. He told an interviewer in 2009, when the team would show up, he hated it because he knew as soon as they left, they would become angry and the household would come alive. It would start really being active.
Oh. Oh.
That was gross. You almost puked, bro.
I did, a little bit in my mouth.
Yuck.
Oh, I gotta do it again. This is not good. Okay. So some supernatural theories outside the underlying theory that Doris was raped by ghosts. The one that makes the most sense is that she may have been the victim of a poltergeist scenario, which is different than a normal haunting. Know about this? Hear about this? Poltergeists are different from ghosts in that they're non-corporeal, incredibly noisy energy beings that manifest in times of overbearing negative energy.
Right.
Negative energy.
That outlines my life story right there.
Negative energy?
Yeah. So what's the difference between ghosts and poltergeists? When it comes to supernatural entities, ghosts are known to be more simple spirits, people who passed away, make themselves seen by the living. They tend to make only themselves known by sightings, but are also said to be able to speak, change temperatures in the room, bring a certain odor to their presence. Ghosts are almost exclusively dead humans who passed away across the afterlife due to unresolved issues or violent death. So that's a ghost. Now, a poltergeist, the word itself translates to noisy ghost, which refers to as apparently to make noise. They throw around objects, otherwise disrupt a physical environment. They're said to be able to literally bite people, pinch, and otherwise attack and harass the human victim, as well move things, throw things, and even break objects.
And apparently rape.
Yeah, according to this movie.
Like what? Some heavy shit, man.
Yeah, it's like...
a horny fucking poltergeist.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're watching that paranormal porn stuff.
Oh, let's go do it for real. Was it in the movie? There's different planes of existence, so that poltergeist found a way to get into our plane.
I guess so.
And the only thing he thought about was finding Doris and having sex with her. That was it.
So her
That's
kids...
the last thing I'd be doing.
Her kids witnessed a bunch of shit too, I guess. So I guess it was, 4 boys she had. I don't think she had a daughter. In the movie, she had a daughter, but in real life,
She had
it was...
2 daughters in the movie.
A 2? Okay, well, apparently it was 4 boys.
In the movie.
Yeah. So by all accounts, Doris was an alcoholic, apparently. Had the 4 kids. In the house, likely that there were a lot of negative energy in the house floating around. So this probably has a big part into why she got attacked and bring on this poltergeist.
Yeah, that's just four boys. Yeah, that's. But again, she was an alcoholic.
Apparently,
And
they
she
say
wasn't receiving.
Yeah, she was. Apparently, they say she was an alcoholic, and with the four boys, they had a lot of negative emotions, and I guess
She wasn't receiving any help either, right? Like
No.
She was self-medicating
Exactly.
because of all the shit that happened in her childhood, and even when they said with the Ouija that she was doing drugs and shit while she was doing it.
Right. So
And
then-
that house
Go ahead.
in California, in Culver City, people who lived there after her haven't had any further signs of a haunting within the house. So
No.
remaining members of the family claim that after they moved out of the house, the horrible events continued, even when they were gone. So it must have followed them. So it was a case of a person being haunted rather than the place.
Right. So I mean, it could have, yeah, very well would have followed them. I mean, there's many possibilities, right? We got sleep paralysis. We got the fact she was an alcoholic. We got negative energy. I mean, that's a question. Did she bring it on herself, or was this just dealt a shitty hand of cards?
It's all a lot of negative shit too, right? So negativity breeds negative situations.
Sure.
Happens all the time.
Sure.
Look at fucking Trump.
Yeah, he's been negative since he lost the election.
Like he's been negative since he put that toupee on his head and colored himself orange decades ago. So the information gives credence to the idea that Doris and her sons either experienced intense poltergeist activity or that she had managed to open a portal within herself to another dimension. Now, I was also reading in some of the stuff, this is like psychotelekinesis, right?
Right.
I was reading about that when in some of her old files that some of the doctors were saying that she was like telekinetic, that she had the power within her brain to do this shit, like manifested for real, which is absolutely crazy. Which, if you had that power, wouldn't that drive you crazy too? You're driving yourself crazy.
Now that would mean she'd be able to move shit, but with her mind and whatnot, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what that means. That's telekinesis.
But why on earth would she want to squeeze her own tits telekinetically?
Yeah.
Is that
Who
a word?
knows, man? Maybe she was just into sex, and that's how she got off. Maybe if you had that power, you didn't have to touch yourself. How much of a turn on would that be? I don't know.
Now that you bring it up like that, I kind of wish I had telekinetic powers.
Exactly. And then you can like throw shit around and be outside and rip girls' clothes off and let them know and walk on by.
Give myself a handy without even using my hands.
Yeah, the stranger.
It would literally be the stranger.
So again, yeah, whatever the case, Culver City doesn't appear to have a place anyone needs to avoid. Like it's safe. So it followed her. There's no immediate danger if you go visit this place.
So I wonder, whether, like, did they continue to investigate her after she moved from that home?
I didn't read about that. Did you?
No, I didn't read anything about that.
Well, they must have, yeah, because when did she leave that home? Like in the 70s?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when she. Well, some other people moved in.
It had to have been.
They didn't encounter anything wrong with the home. The people that moved in.
Yeah, and her son had that. She died in 1999, right?
Yeah.
Of a cardiac arrest.
Right.
So, up until then, I'm pretty sure like they were still. Yeah, they probably were. They were probably interested in her story till she died. Who wouldn't be, right?
Right. Well, I'd like to know. I mean, if they'd done any further investigation after she left the home, or if it was just done. So they're saying, following the movie, they wrote a book. According to an interview with Rue Morgan, or what is it? Rue Morgue. Is that how you pronounce
Rue
it?
Morgue, yeah. Yeah, the Rue Morgue.
From 2012, went out of his way to keep the learning about the actual cases, and it was very loosely adaptation of the actual events.
Exactly. Like you don't. It's even at the end of the movie when the credits, it just says this is a fictitious representation of the events, right? So we don't know how extreme those events really happen. I mean, we don't even know if the titty molesting part even really happened. Is there any writing in like the real story that happening? All it says is she got sexually attacked by these three
Forces.
poltergeists,
Right.
right? Yeah, entities, whatever. So, yeah, we don't know.
Well, apparently Martin Scorsese loved the film. He put it on his list of the 11 scariest movies he ever seen.
Yeah, it is a very psychologically messing horror flick for sure. I mean, there's no blood or gore or crazy or anything. It's just the thought of having this entity doing this to you
Yeah.
really gives you the chills. And the crazy thing is that it followed her into the house of her friend and fucked up her friend's house. Remember that? Smashed her friend's house.
Yeah.
So that shows that this entity is following her wherever the hell she goes, right?
Yeah, which brings more proof that it's a personal haunting and not a haunted house per se.
Exactly. Again, is that built on? I have to read more of the real. I mean, everything I've read so far on the real Doris is very, pretty much what goes on in the movie. So there's not much I've seen that's, traumatic childhood, playing with Ouija boards. I don't know about her dad and the priest thing, and then they're basically in the movie saying that he was incesting with her, right?
I think I missed that part.
Yeah, that's what was going on because she said my dad held me the way you shouldn't hold a child.
Oh,
So
I see.
and then asked, well, did your mother know this? And she's like, yeah, she was aware because they're a religious family, right? So that shit's all back then crazy too. So there was a lot of things going on in their mind, and I mean, not to try to go all super power mutant thing, but I mean, with enough negative energy, could she develop telekinesis? Sickly? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not Xavier.
You know, I wonder how many accounts of hauntings or a poltergeist attacked are not documented. I wonder how many people are out there, watching this movie going, I experienced something similar, but it was never documented or they never made a documentary about it or anything,
Exactly, because a lot of people, if it's just one person with no witnesses and nothing to back it up, it's just dismissed, right? Regardless. They'll just be like, no, we're not going to follow that. So there's probably lots of people that have actually genuinely experienced something maybe and has gone left undocumented, right?
Right.
Like the scariest thing that ever happened to me when I was a kid, I think I was 7 or 8 years old. I woke up from a dream and I had a Michael Jackson poster on my wall, right?
That is scary.
And I was man, its eyes moved. I'm not even joking. They moved left and right, and I shrieked. I fucking lost it. Absolutely went crazy. Never after that, I took the fucking poster down. I was like, fuck you, Michael. I'm done. Like, what the hell? Come into a little boy's room. What's going on?
Yeah, it's just not like him.
No, at all. Out of character.
Out of character. I had an experience too when I was young. My dad, I used to play in the basement a lot when I was a kid, and I remember this as clear as day because it was frightening. But my father built a separator in the basement, and he had a door going into our laundry room, and it was like a door you would use to go in and out of your house, and on the other side of this door there was curtains, so there was a window in the door as well. And my mother was actually doing laundry, and I'm sitting there playing with, fucking trucks or something on my floor, and my mother went upstairs with a basket of laundry, and I just so happened to look up at that door, and there was somebody waving at me. The face was on the other side of the curtain, but the hand was waving at me under the curtain, so I can see the hand. And I got pretty frightened, and I ran upstairs in hysterics. I told my mother, and she kind of got hysterical as well. And everybody that was in the house, my father, everybody, they all searched the house. There was nobody there.
Oh, my God. Did you move after that?
No, that's the only thing
That's
I ever
crazy.
witnessed, though. I mean, maybe it was in my mind. I don't know. Maybe it was just, I don't know what it was, but I remember it.
It's hard to be a child and remember, your brain is still developing, right? So who knows what is being seen or not being seen. You can read all kinds of crazy shit, like what we perceive as adults around us.
Right.
Like the way we see the world isn't really what we're seeing. We're just so conditioned to be told and manipulated as we grow older how to foresee the world, right?
Right.
So who knows? Maybe you bring back the veil, it's still there, but as a child, you can see through that veil because you don't have all this fucking manipulation going on. I don't know.
It's possible.
I'm just talking because of the beer.
I've heard a lot of people talk about things, I've seen people standing at the end of my bed and, doors slamming and stuff, but are they telling stories? Are they being truthful? Or they just want to have a story to tell? I'm fascinated by it because, it's a, well, I won't call it a unique story, but it's still something that if it actually did happen, that would be scary. I actually remember my mother used to go to my father's family's home, and she'd wake up in the middle of the night and see somebody standing in the room while they were sleeping, looking out the window, and it would frighten my mother. And so my mother actually went to a church and told them, and it was apparently a deceased relative, and all she had to do was tell him to go away, and he did. He went away after she told him.
Oh man, that's crazy because once you said that, that just reminded me. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Your mom saw it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what she told me
Yeah,
when I was younger. I remember being in that same house, and that's why she told me, because we were, talking, and she said that, oh, this is what I went through here.
That's crazy because when I was in my teens and I went to bed, and I forget, I don't know if maybe I was like 13 or 14, I woke up and I saw somebody wave in a, outside the door.
Right.
Coming into my room. It was very faint. I saw somebody wave and they had a gray cardigan on. And the only reason why I remember that gray cardigan is because my great-grandfather would wear that. So I went back to bed, and not even I've got a witness for this. A phone call came in around 6:30 that he died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I was losing it telling my mom, and she's like, well, maybe he was just saying goodbye.
That's very possible. They say that, there's things like that actually happen. Like if you dream about the person that passed away right after they pass away, that's them telling you they're okay. And I've actually had those dreams. I've had those dreams.
Once you said that about your mom, it just kickstarted my brain. I was like, oh, shit, I forgot about that till right now. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You could see it perfectly. And I guess as you grow older, the world, maybe that's why they designed the world the way it is, so we don't notice these things, We're just
Possibly.
cogs in the machine.
Possibly,
Just keep us all suppressed so we don't see the truth that's really out there and just blind all the time, right? I don't know.
Well, I'd like to know, I'll take this opportunity, if anyone out there listening has any, stories they want to tell of a true haunting that they might have experienced or a poltergeist. We have a link on our Facebook page where you can actually leave a voice message for us. We'd like to hear about it. We'd like to hear about it, and maybe we'll have you on the show.
And discuss it.
Absolutely. Or maybe we'll just tell us your experience, and maybe we'll just air the message.
Yeah, and get drunk while doing it.
Yeah.
But you can also email us at nightmareswithbeer@gmail.com if you don't want to leave a voicemail.
Right,
Or
but
via
it
message
would be
or-
better to air their message instead of actually trying to reiterate it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying if they don't want to leave a voice message on Facebook and they want to contact us to do their
absolutely.
story through Gmail,
We-
the
we-
Gmail account's there.
Either way, we definitely invite your story, whether it's through email or voicemail. If you do it through email, that's fine. If you do it through voicemail and it's a good story, we'll actually add the story to the episode.
Yes, we will.
And I think that would be cool because, I know there is a lot of people who claim they have experiences like this out there.
Yeah, and I want to hear them.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Definitely.
Maybe we can find some places locally that are haunted, and we can maybe take a gander through and ask questions to whoever owns the place. That'd be neat.
Yeah, and then maybe after we have no more movies to talk about, we can talk about real events that people are experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Get in contact with us, and then we can explore them.
I think it'll be hard for us to run out of movies to talk about because even movies, there's a lot out there that don't say they're based on a true story, but they are based on actual events, and they don't even say that. If you do a search on, like, for example, the movie The Changeling with George C. Scott, there's stuff out there saying what that's based off of. And there's a lot of other movies that have that. So, I mean, we got a lot of stuff we can work with.
So if you enjoy this, we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Exactly. So, would we call this a show?
Damn Skippy. Damn straight. Damn it all to hell. Damn yeah. I got to pick one later.
There you go. All right, people. Well, thanks for listening. This is Nightmares with Beer. And again, if you have a story you want to tell us of your own, feel free to drop us a voicemail or send us an email. We'd be happy to, have a look at it. If your story is exciting, we will actually air the message or have you on the show. Thanks for listening.